So I've been using the new side loader for about a day now, and it's working great. One thing I noticed though is that when the filament comes off the reel, it's kind of a sharp, semi-sharp curve coming in here, which is probably not a big deal. But I think it would work better if the bracket was closer to the edge of the printer and didn't have this filler in it. So because the original bracket is designed for 3/4 inch plywood, and the side of the printer is about 1/4 inch, I ended up using 1/2 inch plywood. But I realized I could use 3D Builder like I did on some of the other parts of this project, and just cut out a 1/2 inch right through here, and then just meld it back together like we did the spool to get the hexagons in each. So that would make it stick out less, and I think it'd be overall better. So that's the last thing we're going to do for this project. It's kind of an add-on. It's working fine now, so it's not really necessary, but I think it'd be useful for me and useful for other people. So I'm going to do this and make it part of my remix, so that way you don't need to find a piece of plywood, you don't need to find some screws and so forth like I did. You can just print the bracket and put it on your printer. So that'd be a lot better. Okay, so now that we want to make the bracket narrower, we're going to start with the last thing we did, which was the no symbol bracket. We got rid of that crazy symbol. And we need to cut out, I just measured it, it's 12 millimeters out of the middle of this thing. Alright, so I'm going to move it to 0, 0, 0, which like it's at there now. Then we can insert, oh, better save it as a new thing. It's better to save as a new thing right away because, so we can call it narrow. Oh, we'll call it Dreamer, and we'll just call it Dreamer. We'll call it FlashForge Dreamer bracket. We don't really care, it doesn't have a symbol anymore. That's not a big deal. So we'll call it that before we change anything. Okay, so now we won't mess up the old one in case we need to go back to it. So we insert a cylinder, a cube, and then we need to make it narrower in this direction. Yeah, like that. And so that was the X direction. We're going to make the X direction 12 millimeters. So we put it back at 0. And that's our 12 millimeters to cut out. And then we want to lower it. We'll put Z at 0 too. That way we get a clean cut. So now we're above and below the that part of the bracket, and we just say edit, subtract. Okay, so that 12 millimeter wide segment is gone. Then we just need to grab one of these and stick it back together. It should just click in place. There. Clicked in place. And we select all of them. And we say merge. Alright, so that was a real simple merge. It was a nice clean flat face. So we save that. Then we move it back to 0. And then we want to have it on its side like we want to print it. Remember, we're printing it on this side. So we want to figure out, it's either X or Y. Okay, that's actually fine. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Doesn't really matter which direction it's pointing. All right, then we need to move back to 0. So we want to, there. So it's 40 millimeters in this direction, so 20 is what Z wants to be too. We'll make sure these are 0 in case there's any round off errors. Yep, see there's a round off error. And we'll check this one. Yep. Okay, and then this sizes, yeah, see the sizes got off a little bit. So that's 48, okay. I'm going to change this to 40 so that it's standard. I'll change this to 22. Again, I think that was a round off error from the merging. So, okay, so now we'll just check the position again, see if there's any other round off errors. Nope.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so that's good to go. Save that. We're also going to save it as STL. That's because that's what we're going to upload. So, all right. Yep, we don't care about that. Okay, so that's it for 3D build. Now we're going to go back to our project and take out the other bracket. So we don't want the no symbol bracket. We want, oh, that was another test file I was looking at. Let's see, bearing spool holder, no pin, yeah. So, FlashForge Dreamer bracket, that's what we want. So we'll center and arrange these again. Okay, I did it that way, that's fine, doesn't really matter. And we don't actually want to, what we're going to be telling people to do is, we're going to get rid of these duplicates. Let's see, make sure those are the duplicate ones, yeah. What we're going to tell people to do is just print 2 pins and see which one fits better. And then print the rest of the project and whatever pin is best once more. That's the way to print this project. So, and we've got this bracket in the right orientation, so it's the strongest, which is important. And we've got this bracket, this cradle, they call it the guide, in the right direction as well. So. Now for what we need to do, we've already printed all the rest of this stuff, so we just need to print the FlashForge Dreamer bracket. So we're going to go down here like we did before, and we're going to say select models and say select none, and just do this one. Okay, everything else is the same. This is going to be print supports again, so which is fine. There's no supports, and now we have a much narrower bracket. So we'll print this up, and hopefully it'll fit perfectly, and then that's when we can upload it to Thingiverse. Great. So I'll go ahead and print this up. I'm not going to do a time lapse or anything on the print. It doesn't really. You've seen time lapses before. So let's print it up, and then we'll try it, and I'll show how it works.
All right. Perfect print. That's perfect anyway. No issues. Back with printing with PETG. And a good bed adhesion. Yeah, we got a little bit of separation there. Yeah. Oh man. Well, we had some layer adhesion problems on the bottom. It's not really going to affect the end result, so not sure what happened there. The rest of it seems solid, so I'm going to go with it. Okay. So it wasn't a perfect print, but for our purposes it's fine. All we care about is the center section is solid. We need to get out this support material, so we'll use our favorite probe. Which I'm going to try to use this thing to knock it out. A spatula. Let's get it started. Grab it with my pliers. Pull it out. Let's see what's coming out here. Well, this is going to be a pain. I'll do it off screen and then come back when I finish it. Alright, came out clean. I used my little needle nose pliers. This is a nice set I got from Exolite. Needle nose pliers and little nippers. So these are handy. If I can find the link, I'll put the link to these in the description. I'm sure you can find it. So they come as a set. Alright, so this is super strong, remember, because we printed it sideways, end up. So then all we need to do is see if it fits. So that'll be the next step. Alright, now to see if it fits. I think next time I print PETG, I'll probably leave the fan off for the first 10 layers or something. Make sure I get good layer adhesion to start with. I might have done that on another PETG project. I can't remember right now. I think I was leaving the fan off. So, in any case, we're all done. So I cleaned the head already and used the cleaning filament because I'm putting PLA tomorrow. So I want to make sure I clean out the head really well. And we just take this off. That's one of the best features about this. Now, this reel is getting close to the end, so it gets really sloppy. What I usually do is I just go ahead and take the filament off. Just make this circular motion, it'll just come off in your hand. And, well, there's actually a little too much on here, but when it gets closer, I would just take it off and then just use it as a spool, a separate spool, because then you can measure it accurately, the weight of it. And you can know how much you've got left. And this kind of spool will just go over this too. So this type of spool holder will be useful just for the ends of reels when you just have a little bit left. So we'll keep this together for now. We can do a couple more projects with this. Hopefully, hopefully we can just concentrate on printing real stuff to, you know, for fun and profit instead of modifying. So we're going to take this off. That's one of the beauties of this design is that this can be, you know, all printed, and then you can just plug it into whatever system you got here. So I'm going to take this side panel off temporarily. Take this off, and we'll see how well this fits here. All right, it's nice and solid. There's no play in it, so let's put this on here. Yeah, that's good. All right, so now our reel is about at least a half an inch closer. Over here. It's a half an inch closer to the printer. That's the other way. So that means the filament will feed more easily into the printer. I'll just show that real quick. So, yeah. Actually, I need to put it back on. Put this back on. Snaps in, and then we're going to run our filament line through our little tube, and it's going to go in a little bit smoother and not be impinging on the side, on the edge of the reels quite so much. So that'll be superior. But the best thing about this design is that I can post this on Thingiverse. I'll have a link to this when I'm done, and somebody can print this and just start printing on their Dreamer or Dreamer NX printer without messing around with wood and screws and all that kind of stuff. So this was a nice prototype, and this is the finished product. So this is a good, this whole video series here has been all about, you know, how do you take a design, modify it, iterate on it, and come up with a final design. So that's my process. So you got to see it up close and personal. And I really like the finished product, and hopefully we'll do a lot of fun printing with this in a lot easier fashion. I'm not going to even deal, I'm never going to put any more reels inside this printer. I'm just going to put them on here, even the small ones. I try to buy all the 1 kilogram reels now. I've pretty much been able to come up with 1 kilogram reels for everything, so that saves money and less waste. That's the main thing. Less, cheaper and less waste. I'm all about that. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Because this is open and it could separate some more, I'm going to put some glue in here, probably Duco cement or something. I wouldn't use super glue, it's too much space here. So I'll use some Duco cement and squish it in here, and so this will be solid and won't separate anymore. So that's one little final adjustment to this version. This didn't print perfectly. It's not worth printing a new one because it's close enough.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is Beta Cygni signing out, and keep looking up.